The film kicks off with Cal heading to school, where he crosses paths with Gabriella, a stunning girl who happens to be his classmate. She's the one he's been crushing on. Unfortunately, Gabriella is already dating Vic, the school's popular guy, and he's got two buddies, Hank and Big Ern. On top of that, Cal has to deal with Ronnie, a nosy and drug-using student who often bullies him. But there's also Cecily, who pays attention to Cal and secretly has a crush on him. During an exam, Hank and Big Ern try to bother Cal, attempting to get a cheat sheet from him. The teacher catches wind of the disturbance and calls Cal out, questioning if the two are trying to cheat. Not wanting trouble with his usual bullies, Cal fibs and denies any cheating. In class, Cal frequently sneaks glances at Gabriella, sketching her in his book. Despite the challenges, Cal eventually seizes an opportunity to confess his feelings to Gabriella. However, he never worked up the courage to do so. Borgie, Cal's close friend, advises him to move on from Gabriella since she's already Vic's girlfriend. According to Borgie, Gabriella and Vic make a great couple as they're both popular at school. Borgie believes Cal deserves someone better and suggests he find another girl. On the flip side, Cecily returns Cal's condom, creating an awkward situation. She plans to invite Cal to a homecoming dance party at school. However, Borgie intentionally interrupts her, preventing her from telling Cal as he quickly leaves upon hearing the school bell. After school, Cal approaches Gabriella and invites her to the school dance. Unfortunately, Gabriella politely declines and walks away. In a quiet moment, Cal discreetly places the sketch of Gabriella he drew into her bag. Shortly after, Vic and his friends confront Cal, snatching his bike and taking him to the basketball court. They interrogate Cal, suspecting he informed the teacher about Hank and Big Ern cheating. However, Cal maintains that he didn't report the two students to the teacher. In response, Vic instructs Cal to persuade the teacher that Hank and Big Ern weren't cheating and that it was all a misunderstanding. When Cal refuses this request, Vic gets angry and orders his friends to bully Calendar. The trio stuffs Cal into a trash can and rolls him up the stairs, causing him to be late for work. Cal's manager had previously warned him about being late, and this second instance puts his job at risk. Despite feeling shaky after his part-time job, Cal still takes the time to invite Runt to play catch and throw. The following day, Cal is summoned to the principal's office because a security guard witnessed him being bullied by Vic and his friends. Soon after, Vic enters the principal's office, and Principal Carey questions whether he and his friends bullied Cal the previous day. Vic doesn't deny it. Instead, he claims he was just teaching Cal a lesson for allegedly stalking Gabriella, his girlfriend. Even more, Vic showed everyone the sketch that Cal had discreetly placed into Gabriella's bag. However, Vic's revelation didn't affect Calendar after school. Cecily approached Cal and invited him to the dance, but he declined, expressing no interest. As Cal rode his bike to leave, he noticed Cecily sitting alone, smoking a marijuana cigarette. Approaching her, she offered him the cigarette, and they started chatting. Surprisingly, they quickly bonded, and Cal didn't hesitate to give Cecily a ride on his bicycle. The next day, during a group study, Gabriella apologized to Cal for what happened, revealing that she was pressured by Vic. As a gesture of apology, she invited Cal to a party at Vic's house. Borgie, who is aware of this, seems excited, while Cecily appears jealous. After school, Borgie tries to encourage Cal, suggesting that the party invitation could be a sign that Gabriella is interested in him. He urges Cal to seize the opportunity to approach Gabriella. Long story short, Cal ends up attending a party at Vic's house on the advice of Borgie. Cal was not interested in going there. But when he got there, Gabriella completely ignored Cal's presence at the party, implying that what Borgie said about Gabriella liking him was wishful thinking. Luckily, Cecily is also at the party, so Cal has someone to chat with while Borgie is getting drunk and acting embarrassingly at the party. When Cal was chatting alone with Cecily, both of them were visited by Vic and his friends, who immediately bully Calendar. Even Vic is openly flirting with Cecily, even though he already has a girlfriend. Cal tries to save Cecily from Vic and his friends, but he gets locked up in the car's trunk, while Vic and the others harass Cecily in retaliation for Cal trying to get close to Gabriella. Hearing the commotion outside, Gabriella came out and immediately saved Cecily by pushing Vic to the ground. Cal, who managed to get out of the car's trunk, then tried to calm Cecily, who was very shocked after experiencing indecent treatment by Vic and his friends. However, Cecily asked everyone not to approach her and left immediately. Vic tries to explain to his girlfriend that he's not harassing Cecily, but Gabriella doesn't seem to believe it because she saw Vic abuse the girl with her own eyes. Because of this incident, Cal becomes angry with Borgie, who forces him to come to a party at Vic's house. Especially Borgie gets drunk and embarrasses them both. Borgie, who was annoyed, then replied to Cal's words by saying that he was just a coward who could not repay all the treatment of Vic and his friends. After school, Cal finds out that someone has cut his bicycle chain, causing him to be late for work and eventually being fired. After all the misfortune he experienced that day, which he believes Vic's doing, he intends to avenge Vic by setting his car on fire. The next day, Cal decides not to go to school and visits Cecily's house to apologize. He meets Cecily's father, who says his daughter doesn't want to meet anyone. Because Cal doesn't go to school, Vic and his friends go to Cal's house, but can't find him anywhere because Cal is hiding somewhere with Runt. That evening, Cal gets a message from Cecily to come to her house. Cal then apologizes to Cecily for what happened to her at the party, but she said it wasn't Cal's fault. Cal then suggests that Cecily report the abuse to the police, but Cecily didn't want to make things worse because the impact would be huge if her father found out that she had been sexually abused. Cecily later revealed that her father was a drug dealer. If her father found out that Vic had abused her, then she was almost certain that her father would kill Vic and be thrown into prison for it. Cecily didn't want her father to go back to jail, so she didn't want to report the incident to the police. The next day, Cal returns to school after a week of absence. Borgie then walked over to him and apologized for breaking Cal's bicycle chain. But Cal is even angry because Borgie's actions have made him fired from his job. Because Cal finally came to school after a long absence, Vic and his friends immediately made calculations on Cal and beat him in front of the students at school. But this time, Cal, who is sick of being bullied by Vic and his friends, tries to get up and fight his bullies, even though he has to struggle. Cal manages to confront his bullies and instantly gets appreciation from his other friends, including Borgie. Even Ronnie, who had often underestimated Cal and often bullied him, was impressed by his courage and then invited him to join his group, which Cal immediately accepted happily. Ronnie then tells Cal that his father used to mix his heroin with bleach, which caused him to collapse immediately after inhaling the heroin because a blood vessel in his brain burst. The incident almost took his life, but he managed to survive even though in the end he suffered a little damage to his brain nerves. In the evening, Cal spends the night with Cecily and their relationship becomes increasingly intimate. In the morning, Cal realizes that his dog has disappeared. He then looks around for Runt's whereabouts and finds a bloodied baseball bat lying on the ground. Cal then headed to the trash can, which was not far from there, and how shocked he was when he found his dog's body in the trash can in a pathetic condition. Cal, who was devastated by the death of Runt, who had always been by his side, then went to Vic at school and urged him to admit that he had killed Runt. But Vic denies that he has killed Runt, and his friends immediately kick Calendar that night. Vic and his friends will have a match at the school gym. However, the students cheered for Cal, who happened to also come to the venue. Vic is annoyed and then tries to embarrass Cal in front of everyone by calling Cal a loser. Cal immediately left the place and planned to repay Vic's actions in another way. Long story short, before the match started, Hank and Big Ern intended to inhale heroin to increase stamina. However, after inhaling the heroin, both of them experienced convulsions, fainted, and had to be rushed to the hospital for medical treatment. It turns out that Cal has mixed the heroin with bleach powder, as Ronnie's father had done to teach his son a lesson. This is Cal's plan to avenge Vic and his friends. Cal then goes to Vic and lures him to a lonely place alone. He asks Vic to admit that he killed Runt and turns himself in to the police, but Vic refuses and immediately attacks Calendar. The two of them got into a pretty fierce fight. Meanwhile, Borgie and Cecily, who are looking for Cal's whereabouts, hear the sound of fighting not far away. In a fight, Borgie appears. Vic then apologized and promised to turn himself in to the police, but Cal, who is furious, has no intention of forgiving Vic and intends to end his life as revenge for Runt's death. Soon enough, Cecily appears and tries to convince Cal not to do it because it will not bring Runt back to life. Cecily convinces Cal to punish Vic for everything he did in other ways. Cecily then gives him a baseball bat. She then asks Cal to break Vic's arm in retaliation for Vic harassing her and also killing Runt. According to Cecily, this would have a deterrent effect on Vic, and he would never again bully Cal or anyone else. Cal complies with Cecily's request. After the incident, Cal and Cecily also promised that they would bear the consequences of their actions together. The film ends by showing Cal and Cecily attending the school dance while the sound of police car sirens wailing in the distance. So, what do you think of this movie? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Any constructive feedback is highly appreciated. Also, did you enjoy the recap? Hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it, and feel free to share this content with your friends and family as well. Please check out our channel to find even more movie recaps of your liking, and don't forget to ring the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.